Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. May I ask you to please rise for the pledge? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Eddie Morse. I'm rector of IHE Delft. I would like to welcome all of you. Maybe this works better. I will start over again. It's not so long. I would like to welcome everybody here in the room, and I think it's a special occasion, a special day. We also have some special guests for this day. And one of the special guests is actually our Delta Commissioner, Pieter Glas, is sitting here in the room. He's also the chair of our governing board. We also have one of our alumni winners here, and I think that's also a special guest because I do think that we hope that all of you will follow his footsteps and also become an alumni winner in due time. He's coming from Peru, and that's why I would also like to welcome the consul of Peru over here, who's sitting next to him. I think that's also something that we always want to celebrate, is a little bit your connection with the different countries. And I think this occasion is special also in the sense that what we try to do is to bring the people here in the room, not necessarily representing different countries, but especially also the people who are supporting one another. And starting again a little bit with our alumni winner, I'm also quite happy that his wife and his children are also here, because I think that's a sort of mental support that you sometimes need in an occasion like this. But also, and I think the biggest part of the room is about you, students, new students here at IHE Delft. And I think also you are here, and we would like to make your life a little bit difficult this year, but also to make sure that at the end, when you leave the institute, you are quite satisfied with what you have been doing. But to get there, you also need support, and you also need mental support. You need other people supporting here. So also in the room over here, there are also some other people that support you. Those are the people of Meet the Dutch who are here, and also people from Rotary that will support you. But also staff members from the institute, people that try to also guide you if you are in any physical or mental issues, or if you have questions, then please reach out and address. But I also think that you yourself, so your neighbor sitting next to you, are also support in this year. So I hope that together you will become a good team, that you will become an important part of the institute. We're proud that we always think that we are a family, and I hope that you will see yourself as becoming a member of this family and being a family member. I do think that a number of you have left people at home. So I would like to welcome those of you who are following us online, that you also reach out if you have the opportunities virtually actually to support your friends, your family that are now sitting over here. And like I said, we will try to make your life a little bit difficult, but we also try to make it a fun year. We try to make it a year that you will never forget. And I hope today is one of those days for that. So with that, I would like to invite our next speaker on the stage here. And the next speaker that will come is one of the people that I think represents also a little bit about a flavor that you may experience in the next months to come. I would like to ask Miss Akosua, and then I always mispronounce your name, Okia Ansa, to the floor. And Akosua, before I give the mic to you, I would also like to mention that Akosua also plays an important role in our PhD community, and she's part of the graduate school together with our other colleagues here. So in the case that you're also looking forward actually to, in due time, to do your PhD, and Akasua is a good person to talk to. And I hope I did not spoil anything or made it too difficult for you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie, for the nice introduction. I would like to start by thanking the organizing committee for inviting me to give this talk. When I was asked to give this speech on a day like this, I thought it would be interesting, not to bore you with a lot of lectures, but to share with you my IHE journey and the different perspectives and ways of knowing and understanding water that I gained during this journey. So for the next 10 to 15 minutes, not very long, I will share my education and research journey with you on interdisciplinarity in water studies. So this is a picture of me 10 years ago. I only realized it's so long when I saw this picture. In October 2013, on a day like this for the opening academic year for my MSc Studies in Water Quality Management. Prior to this, I had worked in a water utility in Ghana, the only urban utility in Ghana, Ghana Water Company, as a water treatment and quality personnel for 7 years. That was right after my bachelor's degree in natural sciences. Over the 7 years, I realized the quality of the water that I was treating was deteriorating. And then this came to a lot of challenges, especially in the rainy seasons. So this was one of the reasons why I opted to study for an MSc in water quality management. My MSc journey at this point was straightforward. Come to IHE, study for a master in water quality management, go back to Ghana and try to use the new knowledge to improve the water that I was treating. And then it was also a ticket for me to rise up in the management of the utility. So I came prepared. After the first opening week, with all these lectures and all these keynotes, the model started. I was already looking forward for it. Models 1 and 2 met these expectations. It was on chemistry, hydrogeology, water resources management, exciting, closer to my goal. Then came model 3, that was water governance. I was really excited to take this model because in my mind, that is where I will learn about all the management practices, the nice stuff that will help me to improve my work and to move up in the organization's ladder. But this wasn't the case. Lectures and activities in this model taught me that water governance wasn't only about infrastructure and water resources management. That it included the institutions, the policies, the organizations. It included the decisions and that we take, which determines who gets what, when, and how. I found this approach to water and the challenges very interesting. So at the point, I thought I would follow related courses for the following electives. But the urge to maintain my position in the utility on the management ladder led me to stay on the natural science and engineering sciences path. However, at the back of my mind, I still thought about this nice approach, which discusses inequalities and how they are produced. So I had an opportunity to go back to this idea in my MSc thesis. So for my MSc thesis, I combined the second-hand knowledge on water treatment and quality monitoring with the concept of urban political ecology to understand inequalities in drinking water quality in urban Lilongwe. Lilongwe is the capital of Malawi. It's characterized by two distinct neighborhoods. You have one neighborhood, which is the picture on the bottom, the planned areas, which serve as home to the rich and middle-income earners in the city. And then the one on the top, that is the unplanned areas, which serve as home to the low-income earners. Within these two neighborhoods, they get water from the same provider, but then they supply the water to these areas through different modalities, through water kiosks to the low-income neighborhoods, and through in-house taps in the planned neighborhoods. I carried out the study in 2 low-income areas and in 2 planned areas. Results from the study show that water that was produced or supplied to the planned areas was of better quality than water that was supplied at the kiosks in the low-income areas. These differences, especially the microbial quality, were so wide. And for me as a water treatment person, I didn't expect to see this much difference because the water was coming from the same treatment source. To the point that after I took the first samples to analyze in the lab, I thought there was something wrong when I read the E. coli and then the coliforms on the plate. I went back to pick fresh samples to test, and then the results were the same. These differences I observed occurred around the management and development of the infrastructure that carries water to the low-income areas. So in these low-income areas, water is supplied through smaller pipes of lower quality, which are laid bare on the surface, as you can see in the picture, in the first picture. And then this means they can easily break. And then contaminants around the pipes really easily enters it and then pollutes or contaminates the water. So I further decided to take a more critical look at why this is happening. And for this, I realized that the decisions that the utility managers make around developing the infrastructure, operating this infrastructure, and at the same time distributing water and maintaining them is the reason why I was seeing these inequalities. And these decisions they make based on who lives where and who can pay for their services. These decisions, again, further it pushes the people in the low-income areas to adopt some coping mechanisms, that is to store water for later use. And this means that the water that they are going to store gets further contaminated because they have to carry their containers uncovered to collect water from the kiosks, which is already polluted. And then they store these buckets or containers of water in their rooms for later use. And this water is further contaminated. I think Tatiana discussed this in her lecture this afternoon, how this happens, keeping water in the room and what happens with that. So back to my journey. After this interesting findings, I thought, it would be nice to really understand what really happens, why the utilities make these decisions, and how these inequalities are happening. So I took a detour for my initial plan of going back to Boston around with my certificate to take up a PhD research to better understand why this is happening. So for my PhD, my goal was to understand why the utility managers adopt certain strategies different from what happens in the higher income areas, in urban low income areas. Why they adopt different infrastructure management, financial management, organizational management in these low income areas. And after adopting again this interdisciplinary approach, I realized that the utilities adopt these strategies as a pragmatic move for them to balance their cost recovery and water for all mandates. So for the urban utilities in most developing countries, they are commercial entities. They have to make money, and at the same time, they have to ensure water for all. Here I realized that besides navigating through these 2 mandates, they also work with different stakeholders who have specific interests. They have to work with governments and government agencies who have an interest in ensuring that everyone in the country gets water. And because often governments fund this not enough, they have to work with donors and funding organizations who also have an interest in ensuring accountability for the money that they are going to invest in the utility. And because they are working in low-income areas, and this is an unplanned area, they have to work with small-scale operators to ensure that the infrastructure they are going to develop there is protected, and then people in there can get water. So the use of these interventions or strategies in the low-income areas for the utility manager, it's besides being pragmatic, it's also a means for them to meet all the interests or align the interests of all of these stakeholders. And so for us to this talk about ensuring equal access doesn't really lie really with the utility manager. It requires all the different stakeholders, the government, the donors, the NGOs who work in this sector to come together to look for or to try to help to find common solutions that will help to improve services for people living in these low-income areas. So back to my journey. After this study, I decided to stay on the academic and research part. And then this time I started working here at IHE as a lecturer and researcher in water services governance. And in my teaching and research activities, I still adopt this mixed approach, bringing together technical and the social science approaches to understand decision making among water utilities, why they decide what they are doing and then why they do what they do. And then for me, I think this approach would help to for better understanding of these challenges, and then help to improve access for all. I would like to end my talk by saying that the water, sanitation, food, and energy challenges are complex. They are political, but also technical, and fundamentally they are social, cultural, and economic. And to capture these complexities, just technical or social solutions are not enough. You need to bring these together to make stronger policy recommendations that are supported by comprehensive data. Such an approach to the challenges or understanding water, sanitation, energy, or food is what this new master program offers you. I invite you to embrace it and define your own understanding and knowledge to knowing water and the challenges that you encounter in this water journey. Thank you for your attention, and then I wish you lots of success on this journey.
Thank you very much, Kushuma. I would now like to invite Henry Amrocho-Daza to the stage. He will be the next speaker. He is currently doing his PhD at IHE, and he was also an MSc student. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and hello especially to the new MSc students. I congratulate you all for being here. Some of you pursued this dream for years, but finally have overcome your personal challenges and are all here right now. I invite you to enjoy and celebrate your courage to start a new journey abroad. Celebrate also that you are not alone in this way. Look at your colleagues in the room. These faces will accompany you for many years, for the coming year, and not a few of them for many years to come. Now I would like to ask you a question. Why are you here? Please take a couple of seconds to reflect on that. Perhaps a common motivation to be here at IHE is to be a water ambassador, taking the words and invitation of Henk Oving, former Dutch water envoy of the Netherlands. In some way, water brought you here, and you are expected to give back something to water after coming to IHE. You are also ambassadors of your own countries. Do not be surprised if some people do not know about the existence of your own homelands. I must confess, I was guilty and embarrassed myself by not knowing where Sri Lanka was, or enthusiastically speaking in Spanish to a guy from Guyana. If such situations happen to you, they will. Do not take it as an offense, but as an opportunity to present the uniqueness of your own country to someone who is a blank canvas. What picture of your country would you like to paint in this person's head? Do not miss the chance to be a creative and kind artist. This is an invitation to embrace diversity. Just take a look around you again. A small United Nations meeting is taking place now in Delft. So engage in a dialogue of cultures, religions, and worldviews. Openness, curiosity, and respect can help you try delicious food, for sure, and take part in celebrations that may seem distant to you but are deeply significant for your fellow colleagues. IHE DNA is also highly cooperative. In such an interdisciplinary and multicultural environment, your skills can benefit other people, but you will also need the expertise of others along the way. Share generously and receive gratefully. Competition is also valuable, but compete with yourself, set goals, and try to get there with excellence and consistency, despite the comfort or the difficulties along the way. You bring valuable knowledge to IHE, the knowledge of your education and your work experience for sure, but perhaps more importantly, the living knowledge about culture, practices, and the meaning of water for your own communities. A master's program, such as the one you're about to start, is an opportunity to take up that knowledge that you bring and enrich it, shape it, and challenge it. To earn your master's degree, you will need to prove that you can be critical of your own ideas and to put them into dialogue with other perspectives. Be bold to speak, disagree, and debate with your fellow colleagues and with the lecturers as well. Humbleness and flexibility can help you to stand for your own ideas while recognizing the value and truth that others are bringing. I would like to finish my words by sharing a personal story from my time as an MSc student in IHE. This is my view on how can you be a water ambassador during this time. In 2019, I had the opportunity to make a documentary for the water governance class about the issues of illegal mining in the Atrato River in Colombia. The work was hectic, but incredibly fulfilling. In that documentary, I was able to literally be the voice of the Atrato River. Some friends still remember one quote from it. "I am water, and gold flows through my veins." As I had the chance to be the voice of the Atrato River, I wondered, which river are you representing today? What are the challenges that river is facing now? And how your time in IHE can help you to take a part in giving voice to that river. I leave you with that invitation, and I wish you success and enjoyment in this new life stage. Make your time at IHE memorable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry. I now ask my colleague Susanna Loeb to come to the stage because we're going to the alumni item on the program.
Thank you, Nick. I am Susanna Loeb. I'm the communication manager here. And today, I represent my colleague Maria Laura Sorrentino, our alumni relations officer, who had to be in Argentina. Today, as you've noticed, we're celebrating the beginning of your journey here at IHE Delft. In about a year or 2 years, depending on which master's degree you're pursuing, you will graduate. And at that time, you become members of our alumni family. This family of more than 25,000 people is a valuable network for life. Treasure it. Our alumni go on to do great things, and so will you. To recognize the achievements of alumni, the Institute in 2013 launched the annual Alumni Award. The award honors alumni who have helped improve the quality of life through their work and inspired others to make an impact. This year, we hand out the 9th award. There were no awards during the pandemic. Before I ask Eddie to introduce this year's honorable winner, Cesar Alvarado Ancieta, a hydraulic engineering expert from Peru, I'd like to warmly welcome you to attend the seminar Cesar will give tomorrow at 12:45 in room B1. There he will share more insights from his research. Eddie, would you please introduce Cesar?
Thank you, Susanna, and I will do that with pleasure. And I would like to start by saying a few words about Cesar. I need a small piece of paper here, or actually it's not so small, because the list what he has been doing is quite long, and by that also quite impressive. I think it was about 20 years ago when you studied here at IHE Delft, and in those 20 years he used his MSc in hydraulic engineering with specializations in river engineering and river basin development to have a knowledge that I think he used in a large part of the world. So knowledge that he gained in that period were about river engineering, fluvial geomorphodynamics, hydrodynamics, sedimentology, flood control, flood risk management, integrated river basin and coastal zone management, hydraulic engineering, and many more items. So a large bag of tools that he brought with him. And what he did is, with that, he had a career, and so officially from Peru, like I said before. He also told me that after his start also working for Peru, for a German firm, he worked in a lot of different number of countries actually. What I would like to do is, because I think this connection, and also the connection to you as students here is, can you raise your hand when I name the country? Because I think it's nice for Cesar to know who's sitting here in the room, so that he also has a connection with you here. So I will just name a couple of countries, not all of them. I will leave the ones that I forget up to Cesar to mention, but of course, Peru, first country. There you go. Then you have, and I go a little bit faster, so you have to look around a little bit, and then you know if you should speak Spanish or maybe another language to your new friend. Nicaragua, El Salvador, Bolivia, Pakistan, Nepal, India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Myanmar, China, the Philippines. You have to wave a little bit bigger because otherwise people will not. Turkey, Gabon, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Azerbaijan, Russia, Albania, Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, Switzerland, Romania, the Netherlands, Spain, Sweden, and many more countries. I think it shows actually the large impact that Cesar had all around the world in all those different topics that I just mentioned to you. But I would like to highlight one of them. And that one is also something that Cesar will tell a little bit more about tomorrow. So if you're interested to learn a little bit more about the details, please join tomorrow. But one of the things that Cesar did was very thorough research in Peru on the Piura River and its tributaries. And that actually resulted in a new flood management plan. And why was this so special? And that is because what he did, and I think you also heard it from the former speakers, he not only worked on all the I think more technical terms that I mentioned to you, but he also meant and combined actually the environmental issues, so that's about nature-based solutions, but also with the social impact. Also looking at the technical side, what you could do. So plan the infrastructure, but also the soft measures, the non-infrastructural measures. And to combine that into a harmony where you had nature and where you had, say, the infrastructural management, but also the people living around there. And I think that was a very, very big achievement. So I think I would like to ask Cesar to come to stage because I would like to hand him out a small gift from the Institute because I think he's one of them, the 9. Cesar now the 9 or 10, Susanna?
Number 9.
Number 9. Cesar, can I ask you to come here? So actually, Cesar, we have a number of pictures hanging in our hall downstairs in what we call the Prinsenkamer. I don't know, not all the students may have been here yet, but if you start walking around the building, then that's maybe one room that you should go for. It's a room where also Emperor Napoleon visited the Institute a long time ago. That was because it used to be a military school over here. That's also the reason why we have a prison upstairs. So, just in case that you think you need a quiet place, then remind us of that prison over there, and we can assure that you get a little bit of silence around you. But I think in there, what we would like to do is we would like to also start including actually pictures, and that's why we are also quite happy with our photographer from our alumni award winners, because one thing is that I fully appreciate my colleagues sitting over here in the nice robes over here. They're doing great work, but I think the real evidence of the Institute and what we're doing is by people like yourself. And we would like to honor you both with this award. You also have a small gift over there, but also we hope that we can put your portraits actually in the hallway there, so that people can also see you when they come here and ask, oh, what did we do? And then you are going to tell us a nice story about that just in a moment. So, congratulations, and if I can give this to you. And then Cesar, because that's only something on the wall, Susanna is going to give you this also as a symbol of what you see. Thank you very much, and by that I would give the floor to you. So I take this from you, that makes your life a little bit easier. Yeah. Okay. Let me take this away.
Yeah, this is yours.
Yep.
Thank you very much, IHE Delft, rector, rectorate members, professors, officers, worldwide fellows, Peruvian consul, and invited guests. I honor it. I'm very grateful to be here representing IHE Delft alumni, my country Peru, and also the people benefit with the implementation of the projects where I was and I am currently working in Europe, Africa, Asia, and Latin America. I would like to start saying thanks to my 2002-2004 IHE Delft professors, especially Professors Gerd Klassen, who is here, Professor Petru Burió, Professor Solomatin, I remember today, and many other professors who are present today. As in the last decade, like also Eric Mosselman, and many others who contributed to be who I am and from whom I learned a lot. Applause, please. And introduced me to the world of research and consulting engineering work in very difficult and also challenging projects in several countries worldwide and under several challenging situations. And doubly, this is a unique hour honoring distinguished alumni of our institute who contributed to the endeavors of the world, the inhabitants, and the environment in several worldwide issues such as human water supply, necessary water storage, hydro developments, urban river estuaries and coastal flood protection, river restoration, understanding anthropogenic changes, improving what we are doing for human beings, and correcting what we humans are doing wrong. Once upon a time, there was a boy who learned to read about nature, water, and visited interesting sites in his home country, Peru, at the age of 3. This changed his life, owing to the adventure tales and site visits. He discovered the way to escape from home and understanding how rivers bring water, how the estuaries, coastal areas, and beaches are washed by waves, how dams and intakes release water through gates, how water can be transported through tunnels and storage in dams, creating large impoundments, and later on, how water and wastewater can be treated and be used for water supply and other benefits, how water is diverted and used for irrigation and hydropower. Overmore, understanding complex problems on fluvial geomorphology, sediment transport, river dynamics, riverbank erosion, underground engineering, sea outfalls, and many other topics. But also, he discovered the way to leave his home, his rich country, with beautiful coastal mountains and jungle areas and huge biodiversity, but with many social problems, and also to live the culture where he lived. I wish my mother and my father were here now. My mother used to get excited seeing my handmaids work made with waste material and building models by hand as a child, reading my words and speeches at the school which she celebrated. Thanks to them, and no doubt also to my stubbornness and some luck, it was able to devote myself to this passion, vice, and wonder that is water science, and to do and write about what I enjoy in the practice scientifically. Sometimes I ask myself if in countries like mine, with no so strong education system and so many poor and illiterate people and injustices, despite being a rich country where culture was the privilege of so few, we can be able to do very good engineering and reduce the vulnerabilities of phenomena as El Niño, Spanish for the child boy, and climate change for the benefit of our countrymen and women and humanity. A few weeks ago, I received a mysterious call in which a lady called Maria Laura, you know her, well known from you in IHE, surprised me and announced me that I won an award and that in order to receive it, I had to travel to Delft, a beautiful city famous for his blue pottery and hosting the famous IHE Delft, where not only, it's true, where not only it was provided my postgraduate education, but also for other students, for developing countries. and draws on the strong tradition in water management and hydraulic engineering of the Dutch school, and where I was living 22 years ago. To my total bewilderment, my character then started to experience in real life one of those histories that until then I had only found in the real and ideal realm of the engineering. I suddenly felt like a little boy, to believe or not believe, or it was just a dream, waiting 2 weeks to receive a letter that was not only a dream, that was real. For you colleagues, fellows, I would like to remember how my life started working in water engineering 35 years ago and how it changed after finishing my Master of Science granted 22 years ago by NUFIC for the first year and La Minga Foundation and the Technical University of Barcelona for the second year, thanks to Professor Klassen and Professor Bidi here in IHE Delft. After finishing the Master of Science, I wanted to return back to Peru. However, almost immediately, the engineering work around the world started. I moved to Stuttgart and started working for projects in countries such as Germany, Bangladesh, Azerbaijan, Nicaragua, Peru, El Salvador, Ecuador, Uganda, Congo, Pakistan, India, Nepal, etc. Then I moved to Imbrus, I remember, in Austria, for projects in Austria, Russia, Pakistan, and others. Then to Germany again, to Nuremberg for projects in Germany, Gabon, Ghana, and other countries. And then I was based between Nuremberg in Germany and Locarno in Switzerland, working for projects in Russia, Turkey, Albania, Thailand, Myanmar, Peru, Bolivia, among other challenging countries. Up to one day, I decided to stop. I decided to stop not only thinking about engineering, but also about family. Family is very important, guys and ladies. And it was when I met my wife, Blanca, who is present here. Applause, please. Who decided to follow and support me in what I do, and I support her in her dreams and work. And we decided the projects need to continue with base in Prague in Czech Republic. But also we have brought up our 3 beautiful children as in a river cascade way. Lidushka, Libunka, and Cesare. Learning the water importance for human beings and loving the nature. In the last 8 years, more projects came in other countries, such as Nepal, India, Turkey, Czech Republic, Germany, Albania, Honduras, the Philippines, China, Pakistan, and Peru, of course. And working for planning and construction of water projects in mountain regions as the Alps, Balkans, Andes, Himalayas, or in alluvial and coastal areas as in Piura in Peru, Yangon in Myanmar, Chao Phraya in Thailand, or the Indus in Pakistan. But projects do not mean only to lead with engineering tasks. Projects also mean to lead with difficult local social and political problems. besides of quite difficult projects with corruption and where we have to face the reality of the life of millions of inhabitants in the world, and for who our mass is to improve their quality lives. Because just a world with a strong education and equity will bring human happiness. And this can just achieve with right decision and power from us, from you, the future Master of Science and PhD of IHE Delft. The comprehensive master plan for flood control in Piura, in my home country, was a milestone in these 35 years. For those who know this story in Peru, especially after this year's floods, it was really a challenge after more than 20 years of research to deliver the master plan at final design and construction level at the beginning of 2022, and to invoke its implementation together with an emergency plan to the authorities, a master plan which is more just simple flood defenses, a plan which describes the complexity of a river basin, the complexity of the play together with estuary, lagoons, and coastal line due to anthropogenic changes, in addition to El Niño phenomena and the effects of climate change, topics that only scientists like you, future IHE scientists, can understand, including social, environmental, and political issues, managing and leading authorities, stakeholders, and citizens, keeping your engineering and research style deep in your hearts, staying out of corruption and political pressures, avoiding them to intervene in engineering wars, which must be solved with wisdom and expertise, and always keeping our engineering ethics, our life, and our honor high. Unfortunately, the lack of political stability and institutionalism in some of our countries, and in my country as well, make it difficult to articulate action with knowledge and experience. And this story has a long way to go and waste of time for millions and millions of citizens nowadays. In my country, there is an old saying, nobody is a poet in his own land. Receiving the IHE Delft Alumni Award 2023 is a recognition not only to the career, but also to this struggle for Piura, for Tumbes, for Trujillo, for Sullana, Lima, and rest of Peru. That reach one of us has to do and give the best of ourselves to our countries and to the world. In my home country, the country of Machu Picchu, the Incas, we have been educated since childhood with the indigenous native language called Quechua, with the next words, Amazua, Amayuya, Amaqueya. This means don't steal, don't lie, don't be lazy. I am quite sure that you, each of you, have similar saying in your home countries, keeping your principles and honesty, which are the most important things in life. In my adopted country, Germany, the saying is Einigkeit, Unrecht, Freiheit, which means unity and justice and freedom. And in my wife's country, Czech Republic, a famous saying is Pesheni holubi nelitari sami dopusti, which means baked pigeons don't fly into your mouth itself. The Czech believe that if you want to achieve something, you have to hustle and work extra hard. Every success has to be hard earned. I would like to encourage you to believe in yourselves and fight for your objectives and dreams and for your countries, achieving the targets for the development of your countries, bringing prosperity and benefits for your people in the field of water engineering. And that is the reason why you are. Never stay in the comfort zone. Dear friends, now I would like to propose a big applause to IHE Delft and the Dutch School and Culture who give us and give you this opportunity in your lives. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you, Cesar, for being our inspiring ambassador to the Institute. I now invite the Vice Rector, Charlotte de Presbuur.
Thank you, Cesar, for this really inspiring word. And to you, students, I hope to see at least one of you, maybe in due time, to stand here on the podium and do the same as Cesar did us. And receive the same award as Cesar. So we are expecting some 154 students from 52 countries. I hope you're all here. Maybe some of you, well, you're not present here, but I mean, some may arrive a little bit later. But I hope that at least the majority of you arrive here safely. And well, you are part of the second batch of the students in our master program of water and sustainable development. And some of you are also starting a research master the program, and that we start this year for the first time. So this morning, and I hope that many of you were here, of the new students at least, I had the pleasure to attend a really inspiring keynote lecture. It was a lecture by a historian on his perspective on the engineer role in addressing water challenges. And as an engineer myself, it made me really critically rethink my profession. And in the process, I also learned something. And this is the focus of our master programs. Active learning, make you think, making your brain cells work. You might have heard from your alumni that this indeed is a tough program and we keep you busy. But active learning is more than just hard work. While the teaching staff can impart you with all kind of interesting knowledge, the onus of actually learning something is on you. On yourself. So it starts already by making your own choices of what you want to learn and how it will help you for future career. So our master program is flexible, allowing you to pick the courses that suit your goals and your interests. Each of you has a coach to help you guiding through your learning journey and also making the choices of the topics that you want to learn. Active learning isn't just listening to lectures and then mindlessly echoing what the lecturer said. It's about applying new ideas and theories to real situations, to your own experiences, but also to the experiences of your fellow classmate. Active learning also means thinking critically about what you are learning. How useful is the new knowledge that you get? What can you do with it? What can you not do with it? Is the knowledge complete or is it one-sided? Are there other perspectives that you could consider, like the lecture this morning on the historian reflecting on engineering perspectives. So it was already said here by 2 speakers, or maybe 3, the nicest aspect of being at Delft is its diversity. Just look around you, as the other speaker already said. You see countries, people from all over the world, from different backgrounds and disciplines. Our diversity is really unique. No matter where you look, I don't think you will find a water community as diverse as here at IHE. This offers great opportunity for you, so you can learn from different disciplines and experiences from different countries. Water issues are complex and can't just be solved by one discipline alone. But this also requires active participation from your side. An active learning mindset, but also the willingness to get out of your comfort zone. It was already said, I think, by Cesar as well. You come from different countries and different backgrounds. It's easy and comfortable to stick with the people from your own country who speak the same language, who basically who think like you. But I encourage you to reach out to those from other countries, cultures, discipline. And you may not always agree, but well, it doesn't matter, whether you agree, as long as you listen to each other and you will learn from each other. By reaching out, you also make new friends. And building a global network of water professionals is actually one of the best things that you can gain from your time at IHE. We are a very small institute, which means you have the chance to get to know most of your fellow students and the teaching staff here. Enjoy this unique experience of learning with people from all around the world. I hope your time at Delft will be a source of knowledge, skills, new friends, and of course inspiration. We desperately need passionate, dedicated, and smart water professionals like you to tackle the global challenges around the world. Lastly, I want to say thanks to everyone who worked very hard to get you all here. And that is admissions, visa, plane tickets, housing, and then of course organizing the social events like we are going to have downstairs in a minute, and many other tasks. So a big thanks to the people working behind the scenes to make this event happen. What did you say, Cesar? Applause, please. I'm learning here some really nice tricks. Thank you, Cesar. With this, I wish you all the best for the year ahead. And with this, I open the academic year 2023-24. Thank you.